Everyone, we're here in Michigan on a nice sunny hot day and we're going to make some bread. It's called fresh milled flour brioche bread with the Tang Zong method. Now I never used that method at all, so we're going to learn all about it. But first we have to get started at the mill. We're at my milling station and the background noise you hear is a fan because it's quite hot today for making bread, but we're going to crack this out and get it done. So we need 735 grams in total, which is going to be 615 grams of hard white wheat and 120 grams of kamut. So let's get it all measured out so we can mill it out. So we need our 615 grams. So let's turn on our scale so we can gram it out. We're always gramming it out. We want to be perfect with it. So 615. That's a lot. It's going to be some really nice bread for us. I need another loaf. I've been doing sourdough, so I thought I'd just make a regular loaf of bread here. And it's supposed to be a really soft loaf of bread. 615 it says. We're almost at 6. Okay, we're at 6, so now we gotta do 15 grams, which is 616, which is perfect. I'm gonna put it over here. Now we need 120 of kamut, and I have kamut right here. So I'm gonna zero out my scale and do 120 grams of kamut over top of it. That's going to give us our nutty taste, I think. 120. That's a full bowl, man. There we go, 121. Perfect. Let me put these back up in the cupboard, and then we will start milling. Just grabbed a bigger bowl because we're going to need one. I'm going to take the lid off, and we're going to grind all this wheat berries up. So I won't bore you with it. I'll get back to you when it's turned off. We're almost done. Glad I grabbed that big bowl. With that, we're all ground up here. Here's all our flour, and I'm glad I grabbed the bigger bowl. We're going to put you over here, and we're going to get started. Right, we're going to make the Tang, however you say it, Tang Zong method. We're going to get ready to do that. It says to take half a cup of this flour. We already milled up, so we're going to take a half a cup of it and put it in the saucepan. And then we're going to add 1 cup of milk to it. I'm going to grab the milk over here. I got my milk here, and we're going to add 1 cup of milk, and then we have to make it into a paste-like substance. So there goes our milk that we're going to be using for the recipe, the 1 cup of milk. Or you could use water. It says you don't have to use milk, but I'm going to use, wait a minute, it says, okay, yeah, 1 cup of milk to combine. And then heat this mixture on medium heat until it forms a paste. It should take about 3 to 5 minutes. I'm going to turn it on medium and pour this in here. And we're going to want to form a paste. So I'm going to move this over here. Put you guys closer. You'll see it, but not me. So we want to make a paste out of this, and that's what you call the Tangzong method. I suppose this is supposed to make the bread a little bit like brioche bread, like softer. So this is my first time ever doing it. We've never made this kind of bread on camera before, so I thought I'd give it a try. So 3 to 5 minutes. It's supposed to become a paste. Right now it's just kind of liquidy. We gotta wait for it to heat up. We don't want to burn it. And then it says you could add your butter until it cools, because it helps the butter to be soft until it cools down. And the butter we need is 8 tablespoons of softened butter. It could be unsalted or salted. I'll probably just use my salted butter because that's all I have. Let me turn up the heat. You gotta get it into the paste-like mixture, and that's what we're trying to do right now. It's starting to thicken up. I can feel it. The milk is thickening it up. It's thickening up. I suppose that this is kind of like, what, a roux that we're making? Kind of for a bread. Whoops, I'm splatting it all over the place. Not good, not good. I'm gonna let it sit there for a few minutes. I'll get back with you. All right, guys, it's starting to thicken up. I don't know if you can see, but it's starting to thicken up. We want it into a paste like. And then I'm going to do my butter while we're here. I'm just going to plop in my butter into the mixture so it can all cool down at the same time. There we go. So basically it's a paste. All right, so I'm going to turn it off the heat. And I'm going to get my butter ready. We might as well just drop our butter in here and not put it in this bowl. I'll keep this here. I got my butter over here on my butter bell. Let me get a knife. So we need 8 tablespoons. So we're just going to grab 8 tablespoons of butter out of here. It'd probably be easier just to cut it, but I don't have a fresh one. I have to go shopping today, so this is the last of my butter. So this is the easy way to do it. So we're just measuring out 8 and a tablespoon right here. Putting them right into the thing. Right in with our mixture. So the butter can melt alongside of it and get cooled. There's 1, 2, 3. I think that's 4. I think I miscount when I'm talking. I gotta stop talking. 4. 5. 6. What? That almost fell out. 6. 2 more. 7. It's a lot of butter, seems like. 7. 1 more. 8 tablespoons, and here we go. Those are 8 tablespoons. All in there. Let's put that knife in here, and I'm going to give this all a mix, and it's going to help our butter melt. All this is going to go into our flour anyway, our dough. So that's a good way to get it all melted. So there's our paste and our butter. And we're going to continue on over here at my mixer with the rest of this while this cools down. Right, while it's cooling down, it says to do your water, which is 2/3 cup. So we're going to put 2/3 cups in here. And then it says to do 4 tablespoons of honey. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 squirts of honey. Generously squirts of honey. And we need 4 eggs. So we want to add the honey, the salt, and the eggs. So I'm going to crack 4 eggs and we'll put them in. So hold on a minute. We got 4 eggs in our container. We wanted to do this so we can see the shells if they're in there. So here's our 4 eggs going in. I can turn this on, hook this up, and then we'll give it a blend. Let me get my stuff, my dough hook, and my, let's get this in here, my dough hook and my bowl scraper. I'll get you guys at a different angle in a sec. I'm just going to give you guys a quick look at mixing it up. So turn it on, turn it down. Just going to break up the eggs and the water and the honey and get that all mixed up in there. This works perfect for making dough, so this is why I'm using this again. Now 1 more egg in here that needs to be broken. I'm going to turn it up. There we go. All broken up. Then turn it off. And then we need to add, we do the eggs and the salt, and there's the lemon juice that we have to add. I'm going to add just a pinch of salt because we used salted butter. It says to add, let's see, what's it say? It says to add, how much salt? 2.5 teaspoons, but I used butter, so I'm just going to give it a pinch because I used the salted butter. And then we need a little bit of lemon juice. So I got some lemon juice in here. And that we need a tablespoon. So I'm going to get my tablespoon and we're going to use a tablespoon of lemon juice. I don't want to make a mistake with that. I'm just washing my tablespoon off over here that we used with the butter. Now give me a second. Fresh milled flour bread making has to be exact. So we're going to use this same thing and do a tablespoon of lemon juice right here. So that's 1 tablespoon of organic lemon juice. Now we need to, so after we do all that, we mix the ingredients and then we mix the ingredients to incorporate and then add the paste mixture butter after it's cooled. And then add the remaining flour, but we also need to add our yeast. Well, no, we add our yeast after it autolyzes. So I'm going to check to see if it's cool. We have all the ingredients in there and I'll get back with down a bit. So we're going to add it to our mixture right here, in here. Sorry about that. Scrape it all out. Remember the butter's in there, it melted with it, and it wants us to incorporate all of it. So we're going to incorporate it. I'm going to see if I can put you up here where you could see what's going on. Just give me a second. I'll turn you off. That's what we got going on, and I'm going to turn it on, and we're going to give it all a mix. And then I'm going to add the flour after we mix this up. See how it's looking? Alright, we're going to turn it off. Got that all incorporated. Then we're going to add our flour, which is all this right here in this bowl. I got to pull it back because I can't dump it in there. There we go. That's all of our flour. Now we're going to mix it. Got to be careful. Mix it on low, you know. We got to see how we're doing here with this dough, because sometimes the heat plays a lot in dough making. And cold does too. It looks like it's coming together really well. We're going to stop it. We're going to turn it off. We're going to take the dough hook off. And we're going to let it autolyze for 10 to 15 minutes with the lid on. Just going to set it right here, let it autolyze, and I'm going to put the measuring spoon up there, which is, hold on a minute. If you put the measuring spoon up there, it tells me that I need 4 tablespoons of yeast. So I'll get back with you after 10 minutes. Right, guys, we're going to take off the lid, and we're going to add our 4 tablespoons of instant yeast. I'm going to put this back together. Very simple. Just put it all back together. Grab it up. It's autolyzed for its time. And now we're going to put my 4 tablespoons of yeast in there. That's a lot of yeast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess what? We're going to make 2 loaves of bread. That's what it says. This is 2 loaves of bread. Uh-oh, 4 teaspoons it said. Oh no, I did too much. I'll have to try to grab some of that out. I didn't read it right. So what I'm going to do is dump it and then start again. I don't know what I was thinking. But I dumped it out, and I'm going to add maybe 2.5 teaspoons. 1, 2.5. Because there's quite a bit there still. So, sorry about that. You've got to read the instructions the right way. So we're going to turn it on and mix that up. I want it to clear the bowl. It looks good. Looks like it's doing what I want. So I'm going to pull this in a little bit. A little bit too far. Just tighten it up so it can go through the roller. And we wanted to do it for a full 12 minutes. So we're going to let it mix up. And my mistake by adding too much yeast. I'm glad I caught myself before it actually mixed up. I read it one more time and saw that I made a mistake. But, you know, people make mistakes all the time, so yeah. Just watch what you're doing and read the directions over and over and over. So it's mixing up. It's looking good. I'm going to turn this up because it needs to be turned up a little bit. So it can go a little bit faster. Looking real good. I don't think I need to add any flour. It just takes time. Fresh milled flour takes time to mix up. Get to that window pane. I think these are small loaves of bread. I might just do one. It says once the dough is doubled in size, after we do this, it's got to double in size. So we'll take a look at it. It says it will make 2 large loaves. So we'll see. So we want to, if it looks like it's going to make 2 large loaves, then we'll make 2 large loaves, which is really good. Then we have to shape it and then bake it. I'm just going to let it run. It's 12 minutes, and when the 12 minutes are done on the timer here, I'll check it. I'll come back with you guys and check it. It's doing good. So once that 12 minutes stop, I'll get back with you guys. All right, guys, it just stopped, so I'm going to pull up a piece. It looks like we still need to do it a little bit more because it's still sticky. I can put this on the table and knead it on the table to see, but I think it still needs some more. It's quite sticky. It's still tearing, so we're going to do another 12 minutes. I'm going to wipe this off my hands and turn on the timer for 12 more minutes. It says sometimes it takes a half an hour for fresh milled flour. I'll look at the minutes and when it's done with the other 12 minutes and see how we're looking, and if it looks like we need a little bit of flour, then I will mill up some more. So we're just going to turn it all the way on for another 12 minutes. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Maybe we can get it going faster. It's starting to look good. It's just, it needs more time. Still quite sticky. So we'll let it go for another 12 minutes. All right, guys, we're going to check it out again. It stopped. So, wow. Okay. Looking better. Feeling better. But I think because of the weather, I'm going to have to mill up some more flour and add a little bit more, which is nothing wrong with that. So we'll add a little bit more. I'll just turn it on here. Mix it. Now it looks like we're gonna have to add more. So let me clean my hands and we'll add some more. Last time when we made bread, I had to add more too, so there's nothing wrong with that. One bit. Let me get this bowl here. We'll just add some more hard white wheat. Right here, I'm over here gonna mill up some more for you guys. Just a little. I'm just gonna pour it in there and we'll see how much we need, and I'll do a hand at a time. Here we go. I'm going to add, I'll get a spoon instead of using my hand. I don't want no one will think I'm unsanitary like the last video. We'll just do it a little bit at a time until I think it looks good and comes together. A lot of times the weather does do a lot to dough. Strangely enough, it plays a big part in dough. I want to get this going so we can let it rise. It's going to be all night if we don't get it rising and baking. It's going to be a nice bread. Brioche bread is really good for French toast, I hear. Just kind of looking at it, wanting to see how it's acting when I add the flour. More to it. You don't want to over mix it either, so it's almost been a half an hour. I'll add a little bit more. Just trying to mix the bottom of it too, down there. Let's see what we can do here. Alright. Let it mix a few minutes. Alright, I'm going to stop it and see if that helped. Maybe it is a stickier dough than what I think it's supposed to be. But it is pretty sticky still. I don't know. I think it still needs a lot more mixing and some more flour. I'm going to turn this back on. My hands are yucky here, but we'll just add more flour here. Those are big fat tablespoons that I'm adding. Really don't want to over mix it. There we go. Starting to pull apart from the bowl, which is good. That's good. I'm going to do another. It's like 75 degrees here today, so it does make a difference. And I don't got the AC on because tomorrow it's supposed to be 50 degrees. Welcome to Michigan. Michigan weather is like this all the time. It goes from one extreme to another. It's pulling away from the bowl. I'm going to do one more and call it that and let it mix up. I'll wash my hands. I don't want it sticky when we have to oil it up and let it rise for an hour. Hopefully it will rise with the amount of yeast I put in there. You know, all the mistake I made. Alright, I'm going to stop it. Actually, when I stopped it, it feels a ton better, so I'm just going to take this out. Loosen the arm up. Take my dough hook out, put this back in here. Don't want to lose the pin. Take this out and scrape all this off. I have a scraper right here. We're going to let it start its rise for an hour. Remember, this makes 2 loaves. So we'll be cutting it in half to make 2 loaves. I'm excited for this new bread. I just want to get it all away from the sides here. How about I put it in its lid over here? That's what I'll do. I'll stick it in the lid while I scrape all the sides here and grab it all up. Get it out so we can spray oil in here with my handy dandy sprayer that I love so much that I got from Amazon. If you guys ever want a link for it, I can link it on the description for you if that's you want a sprayer like that's a sprayer combo, oil combo sprayer. All right, all my dough's in here. Feeling good. Much better. It's actually not as sticky. And I added probably maybe almost a cup, maybe, I don't know, of flour to it. See? All right, let me get my sprayer. Maybe it wasn't so quite a cup. Close enough though. You just want to spray this whole bowl with oil. And we'll throw this back in there. Shape it up into a ball. And we'll put it in there. And I'm going to spray the top too. And we'll let it set for an hour, and we'll come back and look at it. So just put the lid on, and we're good to go. And we'll check it in an hour. My sprayer looks like. See the pourer? And it's got the handle for the squirter. So let me know. I can put it in the description. I can also put this mixer in the description where you could buy them right from their website, and my MockMill over here right from their website where I got both. This mixer works really well with dough. You can do more than just 1 or 2 loaves. You can do probably 6 loaves in here. It's way better than a KitchenAid. It holds up way better. So we're just waiting for it to do its thing, and we'll get back with you. Everyone, we're back. I'm going to check the temperature that the oven needs to be on. It says it needs to be on 350 during the, okay, 350. All right, so I'm going to put it on 350. I took everything out of there. I'll just keep the oven on 350. It says we need to cut the loaves into 2 and put them in the pan. And when I opened this up, it looked like this. This is how much the dough risen. That shows you how much stuff we put in there. I'm just going to squirt a little bit of oil in here before we put it on the, before we put the parchment paper in there, just so it will stick. So my hack is to roll it up, crinkle it up, that way you can set it in there much better. So just kind of, we're going to set it in there the best we can so our bread will come out really nice out of the pan with the parchment paper. These are non-toxic parchment paper. The other one, the same way. I just oiled the bottom of it because I want it to stick down there. Nothing serious. Just so the parchment paper won't stick to the pan. Normally it doesn't, but you know, not a bad idea to do it. I'm just adjusting my pans here. And then I'm going to spray them. So we'll know for sure that it will pop out of there. So there's those. I'm going to put them over here. And I'm going to spray my table here with oil. Just so it won't stick. And we're going to get all this bread dough out. First of all, it just deflated when I got it out, which is good. We want to get it into 2. We want to do a second rise for about a half an hour, it says. So a half an hour or more. So we'll let it do its second rise for a half an hour. Oh, I'm going to use this. I'm going to put this over there, and we just want to flatten it out. Get some of this air out. See how much dough we need for each one. There's that one. I guess I can get my scale and we'll scale it out. See how many grams each one is. That dough feels really nice. I'll just put it on pounds and we'll see how much pounds this is. This one is 188. That needs to be a little bit more. We'll put some more in this one. Let's see if they end up being the same. $175. We'll put a little bit back here and then we'll call it that. We just want to shape it into a loaf size and have some tension on it at the top. That means just pull it towards you and bring it in. Give it a pat, throw it in your pan, kind of mash it down a little bit to shape it in there. All in there just like that. We'll do the other one the same way. Feels like it's going to be a nice soft bread. Do the same with the second one. All right. We're just going to let them set here for half an hour while the oven reheats. And then I'll be back with you when we put them in the oven to bake. While these are rising, I got to work on my sourdough. I got to feed it. It smells good still. I just got to discard some. Not a lot, but most of it. And put some more flour in there. Because I want to make another sourdough bread because we only have half left. So one, I put 1/4 teaspoons or 1/4 cups of flour in there. And then I add my water. I got to get my special spoon that I use for it, which is called a spurtle. I have a small one, a small wooden one. I just gotta find it here. I don't know where it went off to. There's our oven ready to go, but we gotta let it rise a little bit more. Sorry about this. My special wood spurtle that I use for my sourdough went missing. I'm not sure where it is. I don't see it anywhere. So I'm going to have to ask my daughters where it is. So I will use this one right here. Can't be looking around for 5-10 minutes. So we'll use this. You just want to put enough water in it to mix it up to look like a pancake batter. And then tomorrow it'll rise. It'll rise all night. And then I can make a bread in the morning with it. A sourdough bread. Before I went on vacation, I was making sourdough bread with inclusion of butter. And it was really good. It's shredded butter. 1 stick of shredded butter. And it ended up being really, really good. So there we go. There's our sourdough got fed, ready for tomorrow to make another sourdough bread because we only have half one left in the refrigerator. And our bread's still rising. So wait another 15 minutes. I'm just going to put the lid on here. It's starting not to go on there anymore. But it'll be okay. I'm going to have to change jars because it's getting all yucky and nasty. There we go. All I do is put it over here. Let it do its thing. Clean the counter again. And let this finish rising, and then we will put it in the oven. It's starting to go over top of the, you want it to be over top of the pan. This one's starting to, and this one is too. So in about 15 minutes, they should be ready. All right, these are all ready to go into the oven. It said to put them in the oven for 38 minutes. I think I'm going to do 40 minutes to be on the safe side. Do one, and then get the other two. The other one, second one in the oven for 38 minutes. We'll put them side by side right there, and they will go in the oven for 40 minutes. It says 38, but we'll do 40. Set a timer for 40, and we'll take them out when we're done. Here's my bread, all done. Looks really good. It feels nice. We'll cut into it. I'll take a picture of it and we'll cut into it and see how it looks on the inside after it cools down a bit. Here I am taking my bite. I already took one bite of the bread. It's really soft. Yes. Made some soft bread. Turned out really good, and it tastes really good. So with that, I'll see you guys on the next video.